Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're already a subscriber. If you guys are fairly new to the channel, super big welcome to you guys, but mostly you guys see planner content for me, hauls, unboxings, all that good stuff, witchy goodness, all that fun stuff. However, one of the biggest things that I love to do is document memories. And my, vice of choice is doing pocket pages in Project Life. I came from a smash booking background and was really encouraged by family and friends back in the day to document and start a channel and document the memories that I was scrapbooking and just the beginning. So if you go way back into the video archives, you guys are going to find lots of stuff about smash booking and Project Life and all the sporadic scrapbooking I got to do back in the day. But it is a resolution for me going into 2024 to kind of get back at it. I was doing really well in 2022 2022. I was doing weekly Project Life, which I had never really done. I had always kind of just done projects as they came along, as I had time. Because when I started, I was still working retail full time. Throughout the years, I've obviously had ebbs and flows and been able to work on it more years than others. But in 2022, I had a good streak going. And then some events happened in our family circle, and I kind of was at a weird juncture with scrapbooking where certain people who were involved in the situation were literally in my next spread. And I really just kind of wanted to address like the hard stop that meant and just kind of walk through that just for a second, just in case anybody was wondering or cared or whatever. But I just decided that at that time, I really didn't feel comfortable documenting those memories because so much was going on with those people, and it just seemed wrong and insensitive, but it also was not a great time for me to be documenting about them either. It just felt unfair. It felt unfair to the situation. It felt unfair to how my brain was changing the situation. And I feel like we can all, as memory keepers and planners, attest to the fact that sometimes when you write a thought down or a memory, obviously it's soaked in how you felt then, but then also it's you looking through the lens of present day. So I really just wanted to talk about that because this scrapbook spread is all about Christmas past. And I really wanted to kind of just like explain why I just hard stopped Project Life. And I honestly haven't picked it back up in probably over a year now. I just kind of, like I said, I hit a point in the memory keeping where I couldn't keep going at the time, and I needed to take a break and separate from the situation a bit. And so I chose other projects from the past. And I feel like that's always been something that I've been drawn to. And yes, I am going to talk about what's going on screen in a second, but I just kind of want to address that first and foremost. But I do feel like whenever you hit a roadblock or creative block, it's really lovely to sometimes go back through your old planners or your old scrapbooks or journals or what have you for inspiration, memories, and just to also see your progress over time. Because I do feel like it's a little bit difficult it's kind of like how when you're a kid and you grow up, you really don't see yourself grow up. And then all of a sudden you look in the mirror, you're like, holy crap, how am I X age? But I think it's a really interesting thing to do, especially around this time of year. I'm a really big advocate for reflecting and taking a pause at this time of year to kind of see kind of what I want to carry into the new year, things I want to change, things I want to keep, inspiration for the new year, so on and so forth. So I decided, in the fact that I really wanted to get back into Project Life into 2024, and I really wanted to dedicate more time to it, that I would kind of dust myself off a little bit. So after I think I've only done Project Life spreads for like May the 4th and May the 6th. Other than that, I've done no Project Life this entire year. So this was a really big dust off to get going. And not only did I decide to dust everything off. I'm going to stop saying that phrase because it's annoying me already. But not only did I choose to, dip my toe back into this and get started again, I decided that I was going to do a Christmas past, present, and future series. I thought that would be a really cute way to get back into everything, but also get some work done. So I chose to document a past Christmas memory. Now, believe me when I tell you, I have so many Christmas spreads that are not done. It is nauseating from years and years and years. So I could do an entire month of Sundays of Christmas past memories. And who knows, maybe one day there will be that. I have thoroughly considered a past scrapbooking video series. Anywho, but ironically, when I was going through everything, one memory stuck out, and that was going to pick out a Christmas tree in 2022. And I absolutely loved it. I don't know that I've ever gone to a Christmas tree farm and picked out a tree. If I have, I legitimately do not recall it whatsoever. I might have gone to Home Depot with my dad and gotten a tree, but I have never gone to a farm and chopped it down, let alone seen a Christmas tree farm. So I was very excited to go do this, and it was something that Jeff's brother and his son had done in the past. They usually go to the same farm, which is the Berry's Tree Farm. They normally go out there and they pick a tree and they bring it home. So I was really, really excited to be asked to go on this adventure. And so that is what we are documenting today. To add a layer of irony and excitement to the whole thing, I was really struggling this past week because I'm sure, as we can all relate, the holiday seasons can sometimes get away from us and feel very overwhelming. And despite the fact that I felt so lucky and so blessed to have a very supportive partner and an absolutely lovely Friday evening and an absolutely wonderful Saturday morning, I was having terrible anxiety about getting work done for the channel, work done for actual work. My house felt like a wreck, still from moving everything for a pest control service. And I really was just feeling very overwhelmed. And from, obviously I do tarot, I was really kind of pulling the same card over and over, where it was like, I think it's 7 of Cups, where it's basically like, you know what you need to do, but every time you are faced with the hard things that you're going to have to do to get where you want to go, or just put in the work, you're basically chicken shitting out. And so I was really frustrated because I knew that I couldn't continue into the evening with Jeff, that I was going to have to, unfortunately, not go to his house and cook as we had planned and really enjoy the rest of the evening. And I started packing a bag and then just broke down crying because I knew I wasn't going to be happy no matter what decision I made. I just had to do what I felt was right and get through. So I opted to stay home and clean up and do 3 Project Life spreads so that you guys could have a video today. I do not say that to make you feel bad. The irony of the ironies was that literally a year ago today is when we went to go pick out the tree, and I am actually taking a break from getting ready to do this voiceover because we're going to get the Christmas tree today. So a year to the date, we're going to get the new Christmas tree, and it is going to be the 3 of us, and we are going to go to the same Christmas tree farm and go pick out a new tree. And ironically, the weather is doing about the same thing, where it's gray and overcast, and it's been raining the last few days. So it just felt like the perfect video for today for all of these reasons. So I really wanted it to post today. And so I don't know if I just made my life worse or better, but it felt really good to not crumble and kind of shrivel up and go to Jeff's. And it was really, really, really hard because while he was very understanding, he also wanted me to come with him. And he and I have been together long enough now where we've both gone through phases of this and helped each other. And thankfully, we're very self-aware in the fact that what it feels like, and even with the other person supporting you, that you are the one having to deal with it internally. And he was just extra supportive, even though he was super sad that I couldn't come out. And I mean, it kind of went on in spurts throughout the day. I didn't finish the spreads until very, 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 very late in the day for me. And then I decided, I'll turn in and do the voiceover in the morning. But I'm going to stop yammering about all of this before stuff. Let's talk about what's going on in the page. So if you were watching very closely, you will see from the jump, I screwed up. I stamped December the 3rd, 2022 upside down on that title card. So freaking annoying. And I know with the lighting that it's very hard to see that second card, and I'm really sorry. So I hope you catch it in flashes. And just as an FYI, I will show all of the finished pictures and pockets at the very, very end, very slowly as well. So you'll get to see everything. But just to let's talk product first. So all of the cards that you see are printables, except for the Rad card. It's from an older Studio Calico kit. Honestly, with almost little to no clarity, could I tell you where all of the printables came from? I want to say the polka dot, the yellow, and the orange juice card are all from Studio Calico kits, and then the feelings card in that bottom left-hand corner, and then the on a little adventure hello kind of the third card at the top row, I want to say are probably from maybe In a Creative Bubble. They kind of have that look to them, but I'm not 100% certain. In 2022, I went on a printable binge around the time of Studio Calico's, I believe, 15th or 16th birthday, and just bought a ton because they were like $1. And I still, a year later, have not finished cutting them down, and I'm constantly going through the stash to find more. It's outlandish. I will honestly never run out of cards a day in my life. I could stop buying Project Life cards now and still not be able to use enough by the time I go into the next life. But that's as far as product goes on the card front. All of the labels are also from Studio Calico. I am going to use cute little word stickers from my stash. You'll see all different letters and fonts and colors. I use some very old Mambi chipboard pieces, which I am slowly but surely weeding out of my stash, and I feel like I will never get rid of. I feel like I've had those since the beginning of time, because usually it's sold under the Happy Planner label, not Me and My Big Ideas anymore, even though it's the same company, in case you're wondering. Then I'll use a couple enamel hearts from, I believe it's an Amy Tangerine collection, and I think I just picked them up somewhere along the way in life. I do use a AM Stories cutout from the printables I did from the breakfast. It might be breakfast. It might be, I think it's just the mornings kit from Allie Edwards. So basically, if you learn nothing from all three of these spreads, these were all stash binges. And we're going to talk about stashes and shopping your stash and building a homemade kit next Sunday. I'm going to show you guys what my kit's going to look like for January. And I'm really excited to show you guys. I think we can all admit to the fact that we have more than enough craft stuff, and I am really trying to limit my spending next year on physical things and spend more money on experiences and saving for bigger experiences. And I feel like I kind of said that towards the end of last year. And I feel like it came down a bit, but I am really going to be more focused on using my supplies and what I have in so many areas of my life, not just crafting. So I'm looking forward to that with you guys. But in the meantime, we'll save the kit talk for next week. But basically in this spread, I documented us going to breakfast. So we went to a local breakfast place that I absolutely love. And I kept laughing because I really, for the longest time, thought it had been almost a year since I've been there. And I'm still kind of clinging to that. I have not been to Huskers in ages, and it makes me so super sad because I absolutely love Huskers. It has a great solid breakfast, but I had a great time snapping pics of Owen just kind of being silly and drinking his orange juice. I think in all of these he's like 8. He turned 9 in January, so yeah. And it is raining outside, so I'm really sorry if any of that's coming through in the audio as well. Hopefully it'll stop soon. It's supposed to stop about 9, but it's supposed to downpour, which it currently is. Before that, which sucks because it means I got to wear galoshes, which are just uncomfortable. And then it talks about us getting to the Berry Christmas Tree Farm. And then I've got a really cute picture of Owen just in the car with his favorite stuffed animal, Crunch. And he actually, one of the dogs ate one, and then they had like a whole time tracking it down so that he could have a second. And I don't know that he takes it everywhere anymore. Oh, complete and total side note as well. Not that we're here for that, and let me know if you guys can relate, if you guys have nephews, cousins, or something like that are younger. But Owen's kind of like it right now as far as kids go. Like, none of the other kids are having kids, and nobody really has intentions to. So he's kind of it, and the youngest. And I've obviously known Owen since he was 3. So I am heartbroken that he is growing up, even though I'm very excited. And one part of the meltdown was that Jeff was like, well, you don't have to go tomorrow if it's going to stress you out. And I was crying because I wanted to go. That was the whole point of it, was I kind of needed to do my chores and my work to comfortably, and I'm sure we can all relate that you kind of sometimes have to put in the hard work so that you can enjoy the fun experience, because if not, you're going to be constantly in the back of your head thinking about, oh my God, I didn't finish X, Y, and Z. So I knew I needed to do the work and put this in and get it uploaded so that I could comfortably have a good time and hunt for the tree and document a new year. And he was like, you don't have to go. And I started crying because of that reason. And then I also told him, I was like, we really don't have many more years where this is going to be a cool thing for him, because I'm sure if you guys have, nephews, cousins, things like that of this age, they're too cool for school and they grow up too fast. And it's only going to be a few years before, going with your uncle and your dad and his girlfriend to go get a Christmas tree is just not going to be cool anymore. It's just not going to have the same appeal. So he's going to want to hang out with his friends or play video games or not want to do this. And I'm going to say we've got about 2, maybe if we're lucky, 3 more years of this. So it really felt important that we needed to go and document. So that was part of it as well. But I'm glad I snapped that picture of him just kind of like with his favorite toy, and I just popped in a little word sticker that says favorite things. And just I know I said I stamped in the wrong title or the wrong date stamp. I just threw a label over it and stamped it again, and it actually worked out really well. It brought that red up into the spread. And then I know I'm on a different spread, so I'll hurry up and quit yammering. But in the middle, there was also like a group picture of the boys just kind of being silly out in the field. And then the next card was me stamping, "Oh, what fun," from an Allie Edwards December Stories stamp set. I don't know that it might have been 2021 or 2. It might have been even older than that. I'm not really sure what year that stamp set came in. But then it says volume up, because Jeff had found this Pandora station that played like Christmas trap remixes, and it was freaking phenomenal. Like, it made you want to dance. It felt super silly. It was a way to kind of like turn a tradition into a new tradition, to kind of take classic and make it fun. And it was just silly, and it was great. And we were all dancing around and twerking in the fields. Yes, even the boys were twerking. It was absolutely ridiculous. And it was just what we all needed on this super cloudy day. We definitely did not let the weather rain on our parade. It did drizzle a little bit as we were leaving the farm. And I expect today will be very similar, like cloudy, wet, unpredictable. But that last bar was really cute, because I got to put a couple hearts down near happy and amazed, and then down at like the happy 10 face, because it was currently feeling, and I definitely felt happy. I was definitely excited. I was completely amazed by the farm. Like, I had just never seen anything like that. So obviously I put lots of hearts around those emotions and feelings. The next picture, I used one of my very fancy leather at word phrase stickers, and it says, "You make me smile." And it's just a selfie of Owen and I. Again, those years are fleeting, and it makes me so, so sad. But I have so many good pictures of him younger with me, and I have to just savor those memories. And one other thing that I enjoyed about that day was just like how close he stuck to me, because Jeff and his brother were trying to chop down trees, or maybe they were trying to find the perfect tree, and they're doing all the technical work. And Owen and I are just strolling around the farm, just looking and shaking and hugging all the trees. There was lots of hugging of trees by Owen. The next card was rad in this moment. Originally, I was kind of like meaning it to be more like he's rad, and I just kind of changed it towards the end to this moment, because it really was like he was just in his element of being Owen, and I loved that. And then I snapped a pretty funny picture of him just being silly, and just put a word sticker that said good stuff, and finally got that hashtag LOL chipboard piece out of my stash. And I'm sure we can all relate that using up that perfect chipboard piece is always fantastic. So now talking about this spread, let's go. The Learn Something New, the Love This Moment are from older Studio Calico kits, like very, 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 very old kits. And then the Enjoying, the Plaid, the My Favorite Time of Year, actually, I'm taking that back. The 'Tis the Season are all printables from various companies. I would say the 'Tis the Season and the Plaid are most likely from Studio Calico. The Enjoying is from a batch that I have that I'll be using again in January. I think those are from lilypad.com, possibly. If not, they might be in a Creative Bubble. I'll look into that. I try really hard in the description to say what they are. If you're specifically wanting to know where a card is from, pop it down below in the comments, and that goes for product as well, and I will try my best to tell you where it's from. I cannot with any certainty guarantee you that it's still available in any way, shape, or form. The My Favorite Time of Year is from an absolutely ancient Me and My Big Ideas card pack I have. Again, this is like, I dug deep. I have a very large December stash, October stash, Valentine's stash. Why? If I know. Completely don't know, because I'm a fall girl through and through, so like having a bunch of like Halloween stuff usually makes sense, but most of it is like a mix of like fall and Halloween. Valentine's, I really don't celebrate, so I don't know, other than the fact that I'm just overly obsessed with pink and the hearts. So I don't know. I always laugh at like how much of those three things I have. I did use a circle punch to punch out some cute like background circles, because I really wanted to mount those corkboard pieces that were from Ali Edwards onto something so they weren't just sitting there, because obviously they're corkboard in brown and most of these photos had brown in them. So I just wanted them to pop off the page a little bit. So I used those to label, and I do believe in the whole like rule of three thing where I tried to like put one on each row. I think on the previous spread, I'm trying to think of what it was. I think it was the chipboard, just to make sure there was like one on each line. And on this spread, it was the chipboard or the corkboard pieces. So Owen was learning how to proper saw techniques so that he was safe with a handsaw, legitimate handsaw that we've got out there, and are trying to chop down this tree. So that first row is Owen and Justin working on the tree, and I was really enjoying that they were teaching him about it and working on it together, and that he was getting to help in the process of get the tree down. He's now at that age where he does want to be involved and not just watch, but it was also really nice to let him be a part of kind of that manly task of getting the tree down, and feel some pride when it got decorated and put up at the end. So he got to be a part of it from the jump. Then the second row is where things get a little bit more serious. So Jeff obviously brought the chainsaw, and he had like this crazy manic face on. So of course I had to snap a picture, and he's always getting on to me because I get the funniest, weirdest, candid faces on everybody. Like the funny picture of Owen, I get a picture of Justin at the end cheering. I get Jeff's weird, crazy manic face. But to me, those are the photos that make the spreads. They're the ones that make the memories. They're the ones that you want to see in a spread. You don't want to see that orchestrated, everybody gathered around the tree smiling and everything being perfect. You know those moments happen, but I am definitely one to document the quirky. The next card I made really super simple, and I absolutely love how that turned out. I knew I always kind of wanted at least one card blank on every row as well. So I really liked that this was just like a little simple cluster, and it just says December stories all about the tree, because this really was the tree cutting down page. This was, this was getting the work done, which is why there's a label at the top that says work and play, and I underlined work because they worked to get the tree down. It took all three of them in multiple attempts, and you'll see Justin cheering in that bottom left-hand corner when it finally came down. And again, smashing your stash brings so much joy. So much joy. And I finally got to use a word sticker that I did not think I was ever going to get out of my stash, and that was Daddy, because my father passed away many years ago, and I don't have many photos of him, and the photos I do have of him I wouldn't document. Not that there's anything wrong with them, they're just not enough to do like a whole spread, and it wouldn't make sense for the vibe of how I would want to document that. So I was very excited because I had a sticker that said joyful and one that said Daddy. So I just threw them together because that was exactly what was happening. Justin was joyful, so joyful Daddy. And then I just talk a little bit on that next card. I haven't written it in yet about how it took a lot of work and teamwork, but they got the tree down and then they celebrated, which it was definitely well earned. And I love the picture of Owen hugging the tree. So I used the corkboard piece that said "This matters," and then put like a puffy heart underneath just to give it another little layer. And then my blank card ends up being my favorite time of year. I think that covers all the product. I did enjoy kind of sprinkling a little bit more. I feel like when I'm documenting, it can kind of be feast or famine. Like I can either have a lot of trouble with a spread of how I want to decorate, or it kind of comes naturally. And I feel like this was one of those spreads. It just came so naturally. My last spread and I did have some trouble, which we'll get to here in a minute. Just because I was really, I think, low on steam and I was tired and I was ready to go to bed. And so I was struggling a little bit more. And I'll also give you a little piece of advice. Watch some YouTube videos that really helped me. I'm a really big fan of Leilani Scraps and Inky Quill. Inky Quill has two different channels. So there's like a Project Life scrapbooking version of her channel, and then there's one that's a little bit more mixed media. So just keep that in mind. And if you do both, subscribe to both. They're great. Leilani is really awesome. She uses a lot of the similar products that I do, and she's just super fun and bright, and I really love her videos. So those are just two really great YouTube channels that you might enjoy if this is something that you're thinking about getting into, or you just need inspiration. So, I did choose to pop on some staples to this spread and the last spread, and I just used my tiny attacher from Tim Holtz, which I really liked. I will go ahead and start talking about the next spread before it gets here. So the last and final spread was the decorating. And I really want to chat about this because first and foremost, we got this thing home, not exactly typical, and sorry guys out there, but I feel like typical men, let's chop down a tree, but absolutely not have any idea or concept of A, size, B, do we have everything that we need for the tree, and C, again, size, I think. So this is what happened. We got it back to the house and realized not only is it not going to get in the house, but it was too tall for the ceiling. So they needed to do some trimming, and very creative trimming at that. And then it was so big that we needed to go get a bigger base for it as well. And it ended up being 2 trips to Home Depot. I'm not sure what got forgotten the second time. Maybe bags, like sandbags or something, to weigh it down. I don't remember what the second trip was about, but it did take a couple trips to Home Depot. So that top right-hand corner photo is Owen finding this nutcracker, and I hate that you can't see it in the photo, but his foot is like upright, and it's because there's this button on the floor where if you press it, that nutcracker blows its horn, which I thought was hilarious. That the perfect moment to snap. So, I just threw some word stickers on that said where the heart is, toys and joys. Again, I dug deep in my stash, so I was really trying to look at every Christmas word phrase sticker sheet that I had and use up phrases out of that, because I know if not, they're just going to sit in my stash. Again, I used a very old Mambi chipboard piece. I really didn't know what I wanted to do with that title card that's got all the ornaments in it. And it was just a photo I snapped, like a close-up photo of all of the ornaments in the bucket, or some of the ornaments in the bucket as we were decorating. And again, this spread is the decorating phase and kind of all of that. That second card from the top is a printable, and it was actually a 4x6 card from a Studio Calico kit, and I just cut it down into a 3x4. The gold stars that you see me stick on are actually from, not Temu, because I haven't ordered anything from Temu, Shein. I just ordered them. I actually ordered them to go with a different collection that I have. I believe it's called Willow Lane from Maggie Holmes, or Crate Paper, same, but different. But I really wanted to try to use them with everything that's going on as something that's like a more 3-dimensional piece. I'm a really big fan of making sure that every single spread has something that pops up, whether it's an enamel dot, a chipboard piece, or both, or whether it's staples or corkboard. I really like different textures when it comes to my spreads, and I like that textural look. So that's just a me thing. Then this second line is all about Owen really decorating the tree. Of course, I hung some. Of course, Justin hung some. I did get the chance to snap a picture of Jeff and Owen hanging some, which was really cute. Jeff is very OCD and organized like I am, so it felt really funny to watch him kind of like help Owen learn how to balance the tree so that like the ornaments aren't all on one side, or you're making sure that, you know, you've not got 2 together that look the same. Like, it was really cute to watch them work together. I love that the blank card is that Owen just decorating by himself, that one all the way. I'm going to move them around a little bit at the end. It's the Little Things also ends up being one of my favorite cards, because I do end up putting some more puffy stickers from the Snowflake collection with Crate Paper a couple years ago. The Find Magic card, like I said, was a printable. The It's a Little Things was also a printable, but I think I do have a hard version of that, like a thicker chipboard piece, or not chipboard, but thicker cardstock, because I'm pretty sure I had that collection mailed to me a couple years ago, and I know it's from Studio Calico. The same with Marion Bright and the 1, 2, 3 card. The kind of letter looking one, it was kind of like a Mad Libs thing, like you filled it in, and I did do that, and I did do all the journaling prior to turning on the camera for this one, because I really did want to think about what I wanted to say and make sure it fit, and if I needed to do a new one, I could do it off camera. So in the 1, 2, 3 section, I talk about how it took 2 trips to Home Depot and some creative trimmings to get the tree ready to even decorate. And then how decorating was really a team effort and lovely to watch, but it was very well done. And then the third thing is that one of Justin's older friends from his youth stopped by, and all the adults got a very well-earned adult beverage. At that point, we all just kind of had a little glass of something of our choice. So that was really nice to just kind of end the evening. So that brings me to the last row, which is the Marion Bright card. The tree all lit up. my wine tumbler, which says Drink Up Grinches, and it has the super cute little Jack Skellington ornament. And I don't know why it was on the table or if I grabbed it and put it there, but I love that there was like this word bubble chipboard piece I had that said December Moments. And so I just popped that in there and it worked out perfectly. And then obviously that little letter to Owen talking about how today was super special. And I love that I got to pick out the tree with him and that we finally got to decorate it and that I felt super lucky to celebrate Christmas with him and I couldn't wait to do it again. So I really loved how this whole spread, you get to see the entire day. And I'm a really big fan of doing my spreads like this because I really... Hold on, I'm going to pause before I get all emotional and excited. So I think that's it for product. I do fleckle some of my handmade stars. By handmade, I mean I took a hole punch to a glitter sheet of paper. And then I put some puffy stickers from that snowflake collection. I do move the stars or the cards around quite a bit here at the end because I don't love how everything, I can't really find how I love it. But again, you'll see at the very end where everybody ends up and where all the cards land. But one thing that I really just kind of want to focus in on is the fact that sometimes doing Project Life videos can take quite a bit of time. I've talked about this in the past because I am not really great at like a one and done spread. Sometimes a week might be a front and a back page. Sometimes there might be an extra insert. Sometimes I have a specific moment that I want to pull out and give a 12 by 12 spread to. So they're not always the fastest things to put together, which is just going to be kind of important to keep in mind as we head into 2024. Because if I did like one spread a week with it, legitimately, we wouldn't probably finish January until like the middle of March. So, and there's still a risk of that happening. But I really do like to just document the whole event, the whole day, the whole week, like the whole shebang in one. So for me, this is going to be really funny whenever I do catch up on Project Life for 2022, like how this fits in there because I just started with the event. And just did the whole day. So again, this was just one day and it took 3 spreads. That's wild. It took 3 spreads to document one day. And so I don't even know what we did the rest of the week, to be completely honest. And again, that's a future me problem. But I hope that you guys are having the best holiday season. I know we're only 3 days in, but let me know if you've got your tree up. Do you guys get... Because I have an artificial pre-lit tree. They get a live tree. Jeff doesn't get any tree. He just deals with both of us in our separate households. But let me know what kind of tree you guys do. If you celebrate another tradition during the holiday season, it might be Hanukkah. It might be Kwanzaa. I'd love to hear what your family traditions are or what your quirky family traditions are. Do you guys Project Life? Is this something that you guys might want to get into in 2024? What are your thoughts on me doing more videos on this? Because I know a lot of you guys are so used to me doing the planner videos. So I hope you guys enjoy something a little bit different. Like I said, next week we are going to be going through the kit I am planning on using in January. And again, I am not buying anything new, but you guys will get to see the scrapbook album I am planning to use because I know I talked about it in the live stream on Wednesday, but I didn't get to show it because it's not purchased yet, even though I know exactly which one it is and where it is. I'll be going to pick that up at some point over this next week. As a reminder, there is not going to be a live stream on December the 6th. I have a work event, so I will be back to live streams on the 12th, and we're going to be going through flip-throughs. So if you're a fan of flip-throughs, we're going to go through everything. Normally, I would separate the AVEC from the planners, but we're going to do them all. So bring your planners, bring your wine, bring your thoughts. I cannot wait to see you guys on the 12th for that. And then we'll be doing the kit on Sunday's upload, and I've got a plan with me upload on Wednesday as well. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you guys are doing. I hope, again, that you guys enjoyed this and it wasn't too jarring of a difference. But until the next time, I hope you guys enjoy creating your own little wonderlands, and I'm going to give you guys some peace and quiet to finish this video out with. But thank you guys so much for watching. And just one more quick thing is that if you guys feel like monetarily contributing during the live streams, you guys can do a super chat. When it's a stagnant video like this or just an upload like this, you guys can do a super thanks. If you guys want to take advantage of the affiliate codes for Ritual Planner or for the Coffee Monster code, those are in some videos. If you're interested or want to support me that way, it literally doesn't cost you a thing. It actually saves you. You can use the code, click the link, and you're good to go. So it gives me a little something. It gives you a little something. Everybody wins. And if you can't find those in older videos, just give me a shout and I'm happy to send that over to you. I've done that a couple times for some people. But thank you guys so much for all the support you give. I can't believe that we're over 1,000, and I am definitely planning on doing a giveaway as we go into the new year. I just need to get through holiday and live stream season and take a breath, and we'll get there. So thank you guys again for all of your support. I really appreciate you guys. I wouldn't be able to do this or have the will to go on and do this if it weren't for you guys. And I love that more and more of you are getting involved. So thank you again, and until the next time I see you, enjoy creating your own wonderlands. Enjoy just a brief moment of silence while I show you the slow-mo of all the finished spreads. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.